All right, guys, Shotty T here with another Alliance War video. This is war number 4 for the season. We're going to bring all ladies this time, and they're all going to get their fair share of participation here. So first we got Guillotine 99 versus Massacre. I figured this is a safe enough matchup to ramp up her first. So I'm trying to minimize parry against this guy because he has great block proficiency. I do get a couple of parries in there just to give myself combo shield protection in case I mess up. But for the most part, this is a straightforward fight, and this opponent does have recoil. No suicides, but has recoil. And by the way, this is another flow. Now, by the way, I've seen a lot of videos where people are facing opponents that are putting the stubborn node, but so far in every war we've had this season, and this is our 4th war, we've had nothing but flow. So eventually we'll get something different, but people just in love with that flow, you know what I mean? So I did take a hit there. Luckily I still had the combo shield up, so that was the reason why I activated that early. So right now I'm just gonna keep my I decided to go ahead and knock him down so I can get that Fury passive and see if I can nuke him down much sooner and get him closer to that range. All right, sorry about that. All right, and then there we go. Gonna knock him down again, and unfortunately we did not trigger the Fury passive, so I'm not sure what happened there. I'm guessing because I'm in Assassin's range that it didn't trigger, but it's kind of weird. But anyway, there's the first soul. Bank that 100 hit combo. All right, so this next fight, we're gonna go back to quaking. And again, and the next fight is also gonna be Quake. So if you wanna just go through these fights, that's fine. One thing that you will see of note is that I strategically parry heavy, so that way I can have that Fury passive by the time he's stunned, so that way that'll give more damage to him. And also it was spaced out just enough so that way when the next aftershock passes, that Fury buff was just still active, but now the protection is back up, so we're gonna repeat that cycle again. So here we go. For the most part, this path is tailor-made for Quake, especially if you're good at Quake and Shake. You don't have to worry about any of the interactive damage for the nodes. Now, second tier, you're gonna see there are 2 anti-Quake opponents, so, and that's where you're gonna see my alternate team come in. All right, there's Thing, and again, it's Dark Hawk. This Dark Hawk fight. Say that 10 times fast. This should be a quick Quake fight. So I usually like to leave, well, I don't want to leave both of those nodes up, but that other node doesn't really bother me. It's long distance relationship. So essentially it kind of gives me a heal buffer in case I get hit. I can use the weakness debuff on a long distance relationship to use willpower to heal myself in case I get it. But like I said, that's a harmless node that's left up, but it doesn't really affect Quake. And it can only help other attackers because of that willpower. As you can see there, 1 aftershock, he's lost 40% health, so a couple more to do it. All right, as you saw in that previous war video, I faced Nick Fury on node 22. Now this time I faced him on node 23, and node 23 is it's been a pretty annoying placement for Nick Fury because you have that prowess, aggression prowess. So and you have mix master as well as the oscillator node. So what happens if you're playing against Nick Fury? Like, yes, you can do the backdraft intercept, but you have to mix your combos to be medium and light. And so you got 2-hit intercepts. But then when he gets to his Fury passive, when he gets to his passive phase, when he has the armor up, then that's just going to build up his prowess. And if you're hitting him, eventually he's going to throw that SP1. That SP1 just deals a bunch of block damage. And that's without the second life. So even in the second life, it takes even more damage. And we actually placed the Nick Fury here this war. And I think our Nick Fury got 2 kills on this node. And in that mismatch war in the previous video, I believe our Nick Fury got 9 kills on this node. So this is a pretty deadly placement. There's very few counters to this node, just given the node combinations. Because of course you want to bring a mutant ideally if it's not Quake because of the tactical charge build up. So like Omega Red, I believe can solo this fight. Namor potentially can solo this fight. I think Havok can as well. So that like especially those mutants that deal a good bit of like special attack damage. Because you want this fight to get over as quick as possible. That's the reason why I used the 30% boost as well as 30% attack boost, because I really didn't want this fight to last long. Now when he gets to the end of his first life, you'll see that it removes all the debuffs. So if he was close to me, I would have been prepared to Quake and Shake once again. But from that last video, I got pretty comfortable fighting against Nick Fury. Now I have to be careful because if I hit him again, he's gonna go over a bar of power. Right now he has 4 prowess charges, so don't want to take any special damage. So I'm being extra cautious with the Quake and Shake. I'll parry if I have to. Don't want to push him to a special or drop my heavy. All right, and that'll do it. And I had to screenshot that one because I know that Nick Fury has given opponents as well as us some problems. So just offering people solutions for that node. Now this next fight, once again, as you saw in the last war, this is basically a heal Quake node. And this is against Emma Frost. Now Emma Frost, I like quaking against her because it's like quaking a debuff immune node. You don't have to worry about the stun, throwing your Quake and Shake off. Like if they're in the middle of a combo and all of a sudden they get stunned, sometimes when they break their combo, they don't start over from the beginning. They actually finish it, and that can throw your timing off. So at Emma Frost, when that aftershock hits, it's like a debuff immune node. So, and as you can see, Quake has 100% health with that armor up, that armor break debuff. So, pretty straightforward fight using Quake. And believe it or not, well, actually there's one more Quake fight this war. So, like I said, all 3 of the ladies are going to be used during this war. So we've used Guillotine 99 for 1 fight, Quake for, this is her 1, 2, 3, this is her 4th fight. So she ends up with 5 fights in total. All right, a couple more aftershock charges, or just 1. All right, next fight here we got Havok. Now Havok, this is This is the main reason why I brought Guillotine 99. I do have Warlock, but he's on defense. So, of course, I have Colossus as well. But I wanted to use Guillotine just because of she's a flow defender. So that flow attacker. So that way, if I face flow defenders, she could be more effective than like Colossus. So this will be an opportunity to build more soul charges. This is ebb and flow intercept. So I will throw in a few intercepts here and there just to ramp up more damage. But at the same time, I don't want to kill the person before he gets to SP3. And as you can see, he's getting up there with that precision buff. Passive. Alright. And she's a pretty person. I mean, she's a pretty easy person to intercept with because she has that long sword. You can actually like try to backdraft, intercept light. And again, if you backdraft, intercept light, and the opponent doesn't cooperate, or if they're about to throw a special, you can recover quick enough to block that attack or just completely evade it. But we got him at the 5%. Now we just want to go ahead and throw the SP3. And we're gonna take another soul. That's soul number 2. That's our second fight with Guillotine 99. Alright, third fight here, we're gonna have Iron Man Infinity War. Again, it's another matchup that is not suitable for Quake because his medium attack cannot be evaded. His first medium. So we're gonna go with Guillotine 99 again, try to get that third soul. And of course, I'm conscious about that damage ramp up, but this is a perfect opponent to get it ramped up because of his passive armor, so not really worried about it. But during this fight, you will see some of those light intercepts that I was talking about. Now, of course, during the war, I don't want to take any chance of trying to intercept them while they have a special. I'd rather do it when they don't have one. I could have intercepted right there. As you can see, this fight pretty under control. Now we're gonna interrupt his heavy with mines. I gotta get that practice in there for the last 15%. Go. There it is. See, there's the intercept. And that was done with purpose so that way I can have that precision near the end of the fight. And now we're just gonna parry, reparry heavy or heavy intercept if he does his heavy. Yeah, that SP1 was too close for me to try to dodge back and miss both of hits. Alright, third soul collected. And this will be the last Guillotine 99 fight of the war. I could have used her for one more fight, but I was worried about that debuff transfer. And you'll see who I'm talking about. Alright, so this next fight, could I have used Quake? Yes, but Claire, I mean, this is like a fight that she wants to take because she has the class advantage and he has buffs, so we're going to be gaining some power, and she's just going to make quick work. And this will also give you a chance to showcase that tactic that I showed you guys in previous videos against the likes of Domino, Sabretooth, Killmonger. Is where when the opponent dashes at you with a medium, such as Venom, that just comes at you, you can actually dex back and light attack. Like Annihilus, you can do this to Annihilus, Sabretooth, Dark Hawk. Alright, so I mean, these are some of the more annoying finishes that you see in war. And I just did this Northern Exhibitions. To an extent, you can do that against Sasquatch, but you have to have a long ranging light attack to do that light intercept after that dashing medium. Of course, Tiger is another one, Hyperion, Namor. So when they just come at you, and then of course the people that double attack like Domino and Stealth Spider, you can do that same type of dash back intercept. But as you can see, I've been using that quite a bit this fight, and as you can see, he has suicides also. I mean, the fight was just too easy for her. All right, so now we're on to the mini bosses. Like I said, I could have used Guillotine 99 for Mr. Sinister, but he does transfer those debuffs on this SP1. I did not want to risk him throwing a degeneration debuff to me, who's a robot with no willpower, so that's gonna just kill my health. So I decided to just go with Quake, just to keep it simple. There we go. All right, so this next fight is going to be with Claire, and this is probably going to be the most tactical fight that I've had in quite some time. Now, a couple of wars back, I took thing on this node with Human Torch. But we're going to go with Claire. Now, this node, you cannot stun the opponent unless they're inflicted with Incinerate or Poison. Also, otherwise you'll get stunned for like 3 seconds and get wrecked. Also, you can only gain power when you apply a debuff to an opponent. And there's going to be an interesting dynamic here. I still have my 30% boost that I had used earlier, the 6-hour one. So the interesting dynamic with this fight is that you'll see that I purposely try to control his rock stacks by doing double medium, since that second medium will technically bleed him, but instead of bleed him, we'll just get rid of the couple of rock stacks. So, but as you can see, when I'm bleeding him, or attempting to bleed him, since he's immune to it, Claire passively gains power whenever an opponent is immune to a debuff that she's applying. And I'm not trying to parry at all. I'm not trying to accidentally parry. I'm purposely holding block right after I attempt a combo or finish a combo. I'm like holding block right after I'm done. That guarantees that you won't parry the opponent. Alright, so he gains his protection there. Like I said, I'm keeping it simple. We got a 5-minute timer. 1 minute in, we took 20% health, so we're on pace to finish this fight in 5 minutes if we have to. I know I have to wrap it up just a little bit. So again, we're just using those bleed debuffs to control the rock stacks. That way we don't get into one of those situations where we have to hit into his block. And unfortunately that does happen in this fight, where I ended up having him near 15 rock stacks, but not near a bar of power. So I have to be kind of tricky to make sure I don't just get punished. So we do it again. Now at this stage, I'm just gonna hit into this. Well, I should have hit into this block right then and there. I think this is the moment where he gets to his. Sorry about that there. Yeah, I get hit quite a bit there. And luckily I did have that invulnerability boost. So now this is where it gets tricky. Okay, so I applied the bleed debuff. So that way it took him back under 15. So now we're hitting into his block. But now we got him over 15. So we're just going to make the heavy, make the special, and start over. But now, as you can see, I'm going to try to transition into my other mode, because the incinerate mode will allow me to stun him, and also the SB2 deals a whole lot more damage. So now we're going to have to find a creative way to get him over that rock stack threshold. So I have to make sure that he's holding block after coming in. I don't want to intercept him by mistake and get wrecked. So I'm just trying to wait for the whole block. There we go. All right, so now we got him over a bar of power with 15 rock stacks, and now they're going. And again, I duel this fight just to see how many hits that SB2 does. It does 7 hits, so as long as he's below 7 rock stacks, below 8 rock stacks when I launch the SB2, I'm not gonna worry about him becoming unstoppable mid combo and just wrecking me. So we got him back to 15 rock stacks. Manage that. All right, now we're just gonna see if we can parry him a little bit now that we incinerate mode, just to help move this fight along just a little quicker. I've gotten so used to fighting opponents without trying to stun them, it becomes somewhat second nature to deal with these type of nodes. All right, we're almost done here. I've been hitting to the block 3 times. Actually, we kind of missed that. We got him at 15 now. And that's the fight there. So again, very methodical fight. Had a minute left, so it was a 4-minute fight. Never would have soloed it if we were to our old timer. So again, that's why the timer is a plus. Now the last fight of the war is going to be against Korg, and Clairvoyant is a great option against him because all of her attacks don't make contact. They deal energy damage, so when you hit Korg, you'll get rid of the rock stacks without taking thorn damage. So Quake could have been an option here, but she has the class disadvantage. Plus, you have to worry about limber, and you have to worry about brute force. So with Claire, I can be a little bit more aggressive, I can intercept at times, use the fact that he's bleed immune to help me build power a little bit quicker, and launch a couple of SB1s to heal myself during the fight, and then ultimately get to the bigger damage output with the incinerate mode. So here's the fight here. A nice intercept there. And again, I'm not trying to parry him. I want to save my parry since it's 20% limber. I want to save my parry for emergencies only. I got him in the corner, so no need to deviate from the plan at this point. I see he's unstoppable, unblockable. Brute force hits me just a little bit. Back under control. Got another intercept. Again, we're not trying to parry. Alright, another SB2. Alright, heal a little bit more. Alright guys, that's that. So that's the last fight of the war. We had a Medusa take the Warlock boss. It would have been interesting to see what Guillotine 99 would have done. So we're 3-1 on the season. Like I said, the one loss was a big mismatch. Now, this was more evenly matched, but we still got the victory. In BG2 in particular, we got 40 kills versus the opponent's 11. And half of those kills were done by rank 3 Dr. Doom boss. I mean, just sick, 20 kills. I mean, how many items did they use? And as a result, we got 22 total kills. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoy, subscribe, and share.